Speed Digger starting lineup is brought to you by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank. You can follow us pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. Just click on the link for today's game. Or follow us on Facebook and Twitter at KSIR Sports. Batting first for the Speed Diggers is the catcher, Alec Peterson. The second baseman, Arnoldo Matos Garcia, hits second. First baseman, Ryan Hirschfeld, is the third hitter. The cleanup hitter is the shortstop, Kyle Rosenbrock. Center fielder Nico Guzman hits fifth. The pitcher, B.J. Hirschfeld, bats sixth. Mikey Gutierrez at third hits seventh. The right fielder, Zane Fow, hits eighth. And left fielder, Grayson Simmons, is batting ninth for Brush. Meanwhile, for the Thornton Trojans, Joey Belich at first. Hector Venegas at second. The third baseman's David Sandoval. Juan Sandoval's at short. Devin Chacon is in left. Lara is in center. Ray Gonzalez in right. Kyler Rick is behind the plate. And on the mound is right-hander J.C. Garcia. And the opening pitch brought to you by Greg Mullen, the State Farm Insurance. Home Auto State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. 842-4555. Line and pitch. And Petey takes it in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. You have to wonder how thin this staff is for Thornton, just like for Brush. Both teams playing lots of games in a short time period. Thornton played on Tuesday, then played on Thursday, and this is their second game today, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Peterson. They already lost today to Lincoln 16-3 in 5 innings. Here's the wind to 2-0, and that is over for a strike at the knees with a fastball. Against this right-hander, J.C. Garcia, 2 balls and 1 strike. Speed Diggers with 1 game to go after this on Monday at Denver North. This is Thornton's final game of the season. The pitch swung on line, caught by Garcia. Stabbed by the pitcher, there's 1 down. Excellent reflex by the Thornton right-hander. 1 down for Arnoldo Baby Matos Garcia. Baby from the right side. Line and pitch. A fastball, a strike on the outer half of the knees. It's 0-1. Baby yesterday was 2 for 3, 1 for 4 against University, and that rides in. Took something off of that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rick lays down the sign. And the 1-1 in the dirt. Again, took something off of that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Speed Diggers looking for their 12th victory of the season. And the offering. Swung on line. That's a base hit into center field for Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Hit it with the same amount of intensity as Peterson did, but had more elevation on that one. So 1 on, 1 out. For Ryan Hirschfeld, who's the team's leading hitter. Yesterday delivered a home run. It was only 1 for 4. That was a 2-run shot. Was 2 for 3, though, against University with an RBI on Thursday. About a 1-step lead for Matos Garcia. And the pitch. Change up, down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Hirschfeld. The stretch. About a 2-step lead. And the offering. And that one behind him. And, they're going to say it hit the bat. They got a piece of Hirschfeld's bat. Count levels at 1-1. Yeah, I thought it went strictly off the glove, but either way, Hirschfeld stays in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. Garcia with a glance back. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Count moves to 1-2. Keep in mind that before your next mixer, feed, or truck purchase, pair the MMI Design, Craftsmanship, and Service, MMI International. They outperform their competitors hands down. MMI International, 842-5161. A 1-2 pitch to Hirschfeld. Here it is. And he takes it just a little bit high. Well, that barely missed. That was the same type of pitch he was called out on strikes yesterday. Barely missed. On another off-speed thrown by Garcia. And the 2-2. Swung on and popped up extremely high and foul off to the left. Hirschfeld with one of his patented huge swings. Count goes to 2-2. Remains at 2-2. Kyler Rick lays down the sign. And the offering. Swung on, grounded on the left side, in the hole to the shortstop. Going to be a long throw to first. Hirschfeld's going to beat it out to Sandoval. Did everything he could there, but the ball was hit off the end of the bat. So it's a base hit for Ryan Hirschfeld. And the B-Diggers have first and second with one down for Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock yesterday in the victory did not have an official at-bat. He had no at-bats. They walked him 3 times. The stretch. The right-hander delivers. Swing and a miss and a changeup down and in. Way out in front. No balls and 1 strike. With Guzman on deck, B-Diggers looking to score here in the top of the first with 2 on and 1 down. Rosenbrock awaits. The pitch. Swung on and grounded. Foul down the third base side. On a big chopper, it's 0-2. Now Garcia's going with a lot of changeups here, trying to throw the B-Diggers off balance. Matos Garcia at second, Ryan Hirschfeld at first, both singled. Peterson lined to the mound to begin the game. Garcia looks back. 0-2. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The B-Diggers will have B.J. Hirschfeld on the hill when they take the field in the bottom of the first inning. Again, Rick lays down the sign. 1-2. Swung on and lifted towards center field. Lara to his left, ranges under it, makes the catch. Tagging up is Matos Garcia. The throw to third off the cutoff is going to be late. And there's 2 down in the top of the first inning. And here is Nico Guzman. Guzman laced a 2-run double in yesterday's 13-0 victory over Highland. He was officially 1 for 1 with a couple of walks, 0 for 3 against University, and prior to that was destroying the baseball, had 9 hits in a row, including a base hit against Resurrection Christian's Jake Lohr on Monday. Short lead at first and third. The pitch. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Count is at 0-1. B-Diggers have some big swingers on this team, which is why they've all homered in that middle of that lineup. Hirschfeld, Rosenbrock, and Guzman hitting that 2-run shot last Saturday. The pitch in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Rick. The count levels at 1-1. No score. Top of the first inning in Thornton between the B-Diggers and Thornton Trojans. Game number 18 of the regular season for Brush. Matos Garcia at third. Hirschfeld at first. And the offering. Low. Brought some heat there. 2-1. To Nico Guzman. B-Diggers with all righties until you get to the bottom of the lineup. And the offering. Swing and a miss on that changeup. Way out in front. It's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander Garcia delivers. Swing and a miss. Got him on another changeup, and Guzman strikes out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the first inning. Brush does not score. The Trojans of Thornton are coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Here's a starting lineup for the Trojans. Hector Venegas, the second baseman, will bat first. Juan Sandoval, the Shortstop is the second hitter. First baseman Joey Belich hits third. Devin Chacon, the left fielder, is the cleanup hitter. David Sandoval, the third baseman, hits fifth. The pitcher J.C. Garcia hits sixth. Ray Gonzalez in right bats seventh. The eighth hitter is the catcher Kyler Rick, and Lara, the center fielder, bats ninth. The B-Diggers defensively have Ryan Hirschfeld at first. The second baseman is Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Mikey Gutierrez at third. In between them is Kyle Rosenbrock at short. Around the outfield, Grayson Simmons in left, Nico Guzman in center. The right fielder Zane Fow, Alec Peterson behind the plate. And B.J. Hirschfeld, who pitched a 5-inning one-hitter against Highland in his last start, a 19-0 Brush victory, is on the hill. So stepping in is the right-handed hitting Hector Venegas against the righty Hirschfeld. B-Diggers did not score in the top of the first inning, had first and third with two down, but could not play to run. The pitch, fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson lays down the sign in the offering. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. The second baseman, Matos Garcia, on the edge of the grass, makes the catch. And there's one down. One down for Juan Sandoval. Another right-handed hitter for Thornton on a perfect day. Temperature in the 70s. A few clouds, but nothing, obviously, that's going to dictate rain. The pitch, up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. The Brush Grocery Cart. 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. The fastball is fouled back. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union. The Brush Grocery Cart. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The base is empty in the bottom of the first. No score from Thornton between the B-Diggers and the Trojans. And the offering upstairs. The off-speed pitch, it's 2-1. Hirschfeld working quickly. And the offering right there. Fastball at the knees. Down the middle, it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Juan Sandoval. The offering swung on and grounded up the middle for a base hit into center field. And that's exactly what the B-Diggers did in the top of the first. The first man retired, and then a base hit. In fact, the B-Diggers had 2 in a row. Here's Joey Belich. Another righty against righty matchup. B-Diggers at double play depth. The stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering. Bounces it in, blocked nicely by Peterson. Count moves to 1-0. On Belich. Sandoval with about a 2.5 step advantage. The pitch, runner goes, swung on, grounded down the third base side. He bluffed. And it's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. In a scoreless game in the bottom of the first inning in Thornton. For all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything, Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center, Fort Morgan, Sterling, and 122 Custer Street in Brush. The pitch, swung on and fouled right at the plate. Count moves to 1-2. B-Diggers playing in Thornton for the second straight year. Brush won a year ago. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, swung on and grounded to third. Big chopper and drop by Gutierrez, and he bobbles it again. And Belich reaches on the air. Gutierrez had some major issues at third base. That happened against Eaton. And I think it happened one other time. I'm just trying to think when it did, but that was a Sunday hop for Mikey G. And just dropped the ball. In fact, could have been a double play. Here's Devin Chacon, or at least a force the pitch. Swing and a miss of the ball up and in. To the cleanup hitter, it's 0-1. So like the B-Diggers, the Trojans have 2 men on following the first hitter being retired. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a changeup. No balls and 2 strikes. to the right-handed hitting Devin Chacon. Now, Mikey's made some outstanding plays at third this year, but he's also missed some routine ones. Throw back to second, and back in diving is Sandoval. As the throw was taken by Matos Garcia. No balls, 2 strikes. Peterson lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swung on, lined into left field beyond the diving Gutierrez for a base hit. And Simmons gets the ball back in, and the bases are loaded on Devin Chacon's single. And that'll send it the number 5 hitter, David Sandoval. Thornton looking to score the first run or runs of the game. Big, strong right-handed hitter. The pitch swung on and popped up, and that's out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, BJ threw a very hittable 0-2 pitch. Normally you want to waste that one, or at least don't throw it in the strike zone, but he did to Chacon. The stretch. And the offering. That is a fastball for a strike. On the outer half of the knees, it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Sandoval. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch up and in. 2 down as Sandoval strikes out. And J.C. Garcia, the Thornton pitcher, will now hit. 6 consecutive right-handed hitters. The offering. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Nice job of Hirschfeld trying to work his way out of it. He's thrown 14 strikes and 4 balls up to this point. Thornton with a huge opportunity in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game. Peterson lays down the sign. And the offering. The breaking ball is inside. That evens the count at 1-1. And the Rockies and Mets coming up later today from Coors Field. First pitch at 6:10 right here on 10:10. 1-1. Curveball is up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. To J.C. Garcia. The stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with a fastball on the inner half. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. The bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game in Thornton. Hirschfeld delivers. Swing, and the ball is off the catcher's glove. Peterson is going to have to throw to first to retire. Throws to the plate instead. Safe! Safe. It'll be a strikeout and a pass ball. First base was occupied, but there are 2 down. So it goes as a strikeout, a pass ball, and scoring from third base is Juan Sandoval. And Thornton leads 1-0 in a very unusual way. And that'll bring up Ray Gonzalez. Well, the bases remain reloaded. And here's Gonzalez from the right side, the stretch. And the offering. Swung on, fouled off to the right. Count is at 0-1. Hirschfeld gets the sign. He struck out 2 in the inning, but still needs to record another out. And that's a strike on a changeup on the outer half of the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Thornton. Got a couple of hits in this inning. The Bee Diggers have committed an error. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Hirschfeld as Ray Gonzalez goes down on strikes. But Thornton scores a run on 2 hits, a Bee Digger error, and the bases were left loaded. Let's head to the second. In Thornton, Thornton 1, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Bee Diggers trail the Thornton Trojans 1-0 as we head to the second inning in Thornton. B.J. Hirschfeld will step in for Brush. Worked his way out of trouble. Did allow a run, but by no fault of his own there. As he bats against the right-hander, J.C. Garcia. The pitch. inside. Try to curl it in there. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wine and offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count moves to 1-1 to B.J. Hirschfeld. B.J. was 1 for 2 yesterday, 1 for 3 against University on Thursday. Driven in 3 runs total the last 2 games. Swung on, grounded to third, into left field for a base hit beyond the lunging David Sandoval. Took a high hop on him. Third hit for the Bee Diggers on that hard ground ball hit by B.J. Hirschfeld. There's Mikey Gutierrez. This is the part of the lineup that's got to produce for the Bee Diggers. 7, 8, 9 as Jaron Peterson is the courtesy runner at first for B.J. Hirschfeld. Still looking to add depth to this lineup. And 7, 8, and 9, although Mikey yesterday was 1 for 3, 0 for 3 against University. The stretch and pitch, that is a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. A lot of good changeups thrown so far here by Garcia. Thornton with a 1-0 lead in the second. 2-step lead for Peterson. Long pause, the stretch, throw back to first, back and diving is Peterson. Thornton scored their run on a strike 3 passed ball. And the pitch in the dirt, all the way to the screen. And Peterson to second. On the wild pitch, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, we've had wind issues all week, but today, barely anything. No breeze whatsoever. Peterson off of second. And the 2-0. Swung on and chopped foul down the third base side. A lot of these brush hitters well out in front. They've got to make adjustments the second time around. As Garcia's throwing a changeup, that brush is not timing out with some of their hitters the way they'd like to. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the offering in the dirt, blocked nicely by Rick. Ball 3, strike 1. Again, Thornton already played earlier today, which is why we started at about 1:25. That was a 16-3 Lincoln victory in 5 innings. Here it's 1-0 Thornton in the second. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Swung on and chopped foul again out in front of that changeup. It's 3-2. To Mikey Gutierrez. On deck is Zane Fowl. It'll be a payoff pitch to Gutierrez. Here it is, and that's up and in with a curveball. First and second as Gutierrez walks. And here is Fowl. Hasn't hit for a while. Fowl was in that starting lineup, but was 0 for 1 against Resurrection Christian. And then hasn't had plate appearances in a while. Runners take their leads with nobody out in the top of the second inning. And the pitch swung on and grounded to short. Sandoval has got it. He flips to second for 1. Throw to first is going to be late and offline. Advancing to third is Peterson. With 1 down here in the second inning. The Bee Diggers will send Grayson Simmons to the plate. Simmons had a 2-run single yesterday in the 8-run 4th inning in the 13-0 win over Lions. He can tie the game by just putting it in play on the ground. He's got lots of speed out there. There we go. Off of third is Peterson. Off of first is Fowl. He's got lots of speed. He might be taking off about a 2-step lead to the stretch. Garcia delivers. Runner goes swung on line towards center field. That's going to be a base hit. Scoring is Peterson to second is Zane Fow, an RBI single by the G-Man, Grayson Simmons, and the Beat Diggers have tied the game at 1 in the top of the second inning. And that'll send up Alec Peterson. Nice job of waiting there by Simmons and got his pitch. Peterson lined to the mound his first time up. The pitch, and that went behind him. 1 ball and no strikes on Alec Peterson. Garcia stepping off the mound just to recompose himself after Brush just tied the game here in the second inning. And the 1-0 swung on and driven high towards left field. Chacon is right there, backs up, makes the catch. The runners stay put. There's 2 down. Two down in the second for Arnoldo Baby Matos Garcia. He singled but was stranded in the first inning. And still the Beat Diggers are taking some big swings against this right-hander, and those big swings don't always pay off. You get underneath the baseball on changeups, or you're out in front. That's why Brush has pulled virtually everything. Everything they've hit up the middle has been very good. And the offering swung on and lifted down the right field line. That's going to be trouble if it's fair, and it is fair. As it squirts into foul territory. Fouls around third. He will score. Simmons around third. He's headed to the plate. He's going to score. Matos Garcia to third. It's a 2-run triple. And the Beat Diggers now lead the Thornton Trojans 3-1 in the second. Talk about going the other way. Didn't hit it hard, but in the perfect spot. And here's Ryan Hirschfeld. He singled in his first at bat. Out of the windup. The pitch in the dirt with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Garcia gets the sign with Matos Garcia at third. 1-0 outside. Went with a heater there. 2 balls and no strikes. Hirschfeld ready. So is Garcia. 2-0. Right there for a strike. Took something off it. Located it very nicely at the knees. And is 2-1 to Ryan Hirschfeld. Matos Garcia with a conservative lead. Out of the windup, the pitch. Swung on, grounded left side. The third baseman Sandoval has it. Throws to first in time. Ryan Hirschfeld is retired. And so are the Beat Diggers in the second inning. But the Beat Diggers score 3 runs. They do it on 3 hits, no errors, and a man left. An inning and a half complete. Brush 3, Thornton 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 3-1 Beat Diggers over the Thornton Trojans in Thornton as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. It'll be Rick, Lara, and Venegas against the right-hander B.J. Hirschfeld, who struck out 3 in the opening frame, and that one went behind everybody. 1 ball, no strikes. Hirschfeld out of the stretch with the bases empty. The pitch swung on and driven into left field on the ground for a base hit. And for Thornton, that's their 3rd hit. As Kyler Rick reaches, here's Lara. Beat Diggers again looking for that twin killing. Leading by 2 in the bottom half of the second inning. 2-step lead for Rick. And the pitch, squaring to bunt, pops it foul to the screen. Thornton trying to play some small ball there. No balls and 1 strike. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up, pick up something new for the hot and cold deli selection, Stubbs Gas and Oil. In Wiggins, great food at low prices, Stubbs Gas and Oil, the stretch. And the 0-1. Pitch out. Throw back to first, back in diving, or sliding, I should say, is Rick. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the 9th place hitter, Lara. Hirschfeld looks in. And the offering. Inside. Nearly clipped him on the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hirschfeld threw a gem and brush against Highland, but this is certainly a tougher test being on the road. 2-1. Inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And trouble is coming because you turn over the lineup right here if you allow the 8 and the 9 hitters to get on, even with a 3-1 advantage in the bottom of the 2nd. The pitch in the dirt. And that's a walk to Lara. 1st and 2nd now for Thornton. And Hirschfeld trying to rediscover his rhythm here. He allowed just a 1 run, even though the bases were loaded with 1 out in the 1st. Now it's 1st and 2nd with nobody out. Hector Venegas popped out in his first at bat. The pitch swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. Bee Diggers will be at Denver North Monday at 4 o'clock. The regular season finale on 1010 and KSIR.com. Then on Wednesday, we'll find out where the Bee Diggers are headed in the district tournament. Big lead at second. Huge lead over there. Stepping off is Hirschfeld. BJ gets the sign and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt, diving away from the hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. Now you almost want to throw that pitch again to see if Venegas goes fishing. The stretch and the pitch way high. Ball 1, strike 2. Gutierrez right on the line at 3rd. In case anything is pulled, he might be able to turn one. The stretch and the offering. Upstairs with a changeup. The count levels at 2-2. 3-1 Bee Diggers. A Grayson Simmons RBI single and a 2-run triple by Baby Matos Garcia. The pitch. He bounces it in. Hirschfeld had 0-2. Now it's 3-2. On Hector Venegas. Looks back. And the offering. Inside. He walked him. And the bases are loaded for Juan Sandoval. Sandoval singled his first time up. The Trojans could certainly take the lead in this inning, as they are posing a threat against the Bee Diggers and right-hander B.J. Hirschfeld. The offering. Boy, not even close. That's behind the hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. They might have to pay a visit to the hill here if he doesn't recompose himself. Out of the stretch with the bases loaded. And the offering almost hit him. 2-0, and Peterson's going to talk to his pitcher. Yeah, he's had a rough inning now. He's thrown 8 consecutive balls. 2 balls and no strikes. Stretch and pitch. Swung on and popped foul off to the right and out of play. Count moves to 2-1. On Juan Sandoval. Stretch and the pitch. That is a strike with a fastball on the outside corner, thigh high, and it's 2-2. Oh, he worked out of a bases-loaded jam in the first. Can he do it here in the second, although we have nobody out? 2-2 pitch. Inside with a changeup. 3-2. To Sandoval. Nowhere to put him. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on, line into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Guzman coming on. Will get the ball back in. It's an RBI single. As scoring is Kyler Rick. Now a 3-2 game in favor of the Bee Diggers. Everybody moves up a base. Here's Joey Belich, who reached on an error. in his first at bat. The pitch, right there for a strike on the outer half. Ahead of the hitter, that's going to help. No balls and one strike. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a nasty breaking ball. Diving down and away. It is 0-2. The stretch, I should say. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another curveball as Bellage strikes out. And there's one down in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Devin Chacon. Now, he did single to left in the opening at bat for him in the opening frame. The stretch by Hirschfeld, the pitch. Swung on, driven deep to left field, going way back at Simmons. Still going back, it's over his head. One run is going to score. Here comes another run as Venegas will cross home plate. Into third is Sandoval. Into second is Devin Chacon with a 2-run double. And Thornton now leads Brush 4-3 in the second inning. And here's David Sandoval. Bee-Diggers find themselves down again. The pitch. Swing and a miss. On a ball up in the zone. Count is sitting at no balls and one strike. Oh, this could be one of these games. You got to score a lot of runs. And the offering. Swung on, grounded right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit into center field. And one run is in. Rounding third and going to the plate is Chacon. And that ball gets by Peterson all the way to the screen. David Sandoval headed to third. There's the throw. Gutierrez drops the baseball. And now going for third in the slide to tag. And he's going to be in there. That'll be an error on Gutierrez. It'll be a 2-run single for David Sandoval. He went to second on the throw, to third on the air, and Thornton now leads 6-3. Well, the Bee-Diggers falling apart here. And now there'll be a conference on the hill. With Sandoval at third. And really, this is the season for Thornton. This is their final game. Only 2 wins coming in, so they got nothing to lose. They're playing hard here. And they're responding. They've scored 5 runs in this inning, and there's still only 1 out. And this was set up by a couple of walks early on in the inning by Hirschfeld. Bee-Diggers have committed a couple of errors in this game as well. So again, Sandoval's at third, but that's only scored as a single. As he took second on a throw home, and then third on the air by Gutierrez, who's having trouble with that glove. He's had 2 balls hit him right in the middle, and he's dropped them both, and those have resulted in the errors for the Bee-Diggers. So after the conversation breaks up on the hill, here's J.C. Garcia. The pitch, swung on line to the third baseman off of Gutierrez into foul territory. The runner holds up at third and Sandoval. On a hot shot, we'll call it a base hit. It was a hot shot over to third. And it's first and third now for Ray Gonzalez, who struck out swinging his first time. I think the Bee-Diggers are in a little bit of shock here. They're getting it handed to them right now. After this team lost the first game of a doubleheader to Lincoln today, 16-3. But Brush right now has got no answer in the bottom of the second. The stretch and the offering. Down and in with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Looking back is Hirschfeld. And the pitch, runner going, swing and a miss. Peterson throws to second. The throw is there. The tag and out at second base is Garcia. There's 1 down. So 2 down in the inning. On the caught stealing as Rosenbrock applies the tag. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stepping off is Hirschfeld. Off of third is Sandoval. The stretch. And the pitch outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Equitable savings and loan with financial solutions for you. Fastball, a strike on the inner half. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch. And the offering. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Peterson. 3-2. To Ray Gonzalez, the Bead Diggers are going to need a pretty hefty inning on offense to take the lead. They're down by 3. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded right side. Second baseman Matos Garcia's got it. Sidearms to first, and it's a wide throw offline. And scoring is Sandoval. It's another error by Brush, and the Bead Diggers now trail 7-3. Boy, this is atrocious baseball by the Bead Diggers. And here's Kyler Rick, who singled to begin the inning. I mean, I'd like to be more mild about that, but you can't. It's the way it is right now. This is a team with 11 wins coming in. Swung on and grounded weakly to third. Mikey Gutierrez has got it. Fires to first for the out. And finally, a disaster of an inning is over for the Bead Diggers. In the frame, 6 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and a man left. Let's head to the third. It's Thornton 7, Brush 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 7-3 Thornton. As we head to the third inning, Bead Diggers just giving runs away. Thornton's hit the ball well, though, but Brush not making the plays when they need to. Here's Kyle Rosenbrock to lead off the third. Against the right-hander, J.C. Garcia. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, the breaking ball. Up the left side towards the Thornton dugout. No balls and 1 strike. A run in the first, 6 in the second for Thornton. Bead Digger scored 3 in the second. The pitch down and away to the screen. Towards the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rosenbrock lined to center his first time up. Brush in a 7-3 hole, incredibly enough, in Thornton. And the pitch swung on and grounded sharply to second. Routine hop, the throw to first, and the play is made over there for the out by Hector Venegas. There's 1 down. That'll bring up Nico Guzman, who struck out swinging on a changeup in his first at bat. Garcia gets the sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front again. Yeah, I wouldn't throw anything but a changeup to many of these hitters because they're just too impatient. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering. Same pitch, same result. In the dirt. 0-2. To Nico Guzman. With 1 down. Garcia gets the sign from Rick. Sets up on the outside corner. The pitch is down and away. On that bender, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out and the base is empty in the top of the third. Brush trails Thornton 7-3. And the offering. Swing and a miss. Again, the off-speed pitch, and Guzman is way, way, way out in front. 2 down for B.J. Hirschfeld, who singled his first time up. Well, the B-Diggers coming out like, at least in the bottom of the second, after the 3-1 lead, like they weren't ready to play. And the offering swung on, lined into right center field for a base hit. B.J. Hirschfeld is now 2 for 2, but that's what Brush has got to do more of. Go the other way. They've had no luck pulling the ball. Everything middle to right has resulted in base hits for the most part. Mikey Gutierrez walked his first time up. And when you're facing a change-up pitcher, you got to go middle right, not middle left. In the stretch. And the offering. Swing and a miss out in front of that change-up. It's 0-1. To Mikey Gutierrez as the temperature now starts to go up a little bit, getting into the 80s. Gorgeous day in Thornton. Stretched by Garcia. And the offering. Swung on, tapped foul. He's got a lot of these B-Diggers out in front. Obviously, B.J. Hirschfeld's adjusted nicely with 2 hits either up the middle or the other way. Grayson Simmons' RBI single was straight away, and Maltos Garcia's 2-run double or triple was down the right field line. And if more B-Diggers can take note of that, they'll be able to muster a rally and get back into this. But for now, they're down 7-3, 2 down, 1 on in the top of the third inning. The stretch. And the 0-2. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Mikey Gutierrez. And the right-hander Garcia delivers. Swung on, grounded to third. A massive hop over Sandoval. Down the left field line. Around second is Peterson, that is. He heads to third. Into second is Gutierrez. That'll be a double. Well, that was a wicked hop. And that time pulling it paid off. Here's Zane Fowl, who grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. The B-Diggers and Trojans both have 7 hits in the game, but Thornton has not committed an error. The B-Diggers have 3 in the game. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Zane Fowl. And the offering. Foul tipped at the plate. 0-2. Garcia ready, and the offering. Swung on, grounded left side. Sandoval, the shortstop, has got it. Long throw to first is going to be off the first baseman's glove. 2 runs are going to score as Gutierrez now crosses home plate. We'll call that a single and an error. I think Fowl is going to beat that out anyway, and it's now 7-5. So an infield single for Fowl. Error on the first baseman, Joey Belich, and here's Grayson Simmons, 1 for 1 with an RBI single. The stretch and the offering. Outside. Runner going to second to throw. Foul slides. He's in there easily. 1 ball and no strikes. Good jump there by Zane Fowl. Now in scoring position for the G-Man. At 1 ball and no strikes. B-Diggers now only down by 2. And the offering. Outside with another off-speed pitch. Count moves to 2-0. Garcia back on the rubber. The stretch. And the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss way out in front of that one. Throw back to second. Fouls back in standing. Again, just going with changeups. So the B-Diggers are not waiting a little bit longer. They're going to have some failures at the plate. But Simmons still up in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Righty against lefty. The pitch. And he takes it up and away with a fastball. It's 3-1. B-Diggers were down by 4 going into the frame, now only down by 2. Simmons ahead in the count at 3-1. Garcia delivers. Low with a fastball, and he walks on 5 pitches. Here's Alec Peterson, who lined out and popped to left. And again, a compact swing. Got to take the compact swings. These big swings taken by the B-Diggers are not paying off. But a good, solid, compact swing could get the B-Diggers back into a tie game with the lead here in the third. The pitch. And the breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Peterson officially is 0 for 2. The stretch by Garcia. And the offering. Swung on and grounded over the mound. The shortstop Sandoval cannot get to it. It's a base hit into center field. Foul rounds third. He scores. Simmons to third. The throw, the slide. He's in there. To second is Peterson. That throw, it's off the second baseman's glove into right field. Now taking off for the plate is Simmons. The throw towards third is going to airmail the third baseman as Simmons scores. And the B-Diggers tie the game at 7. That'll be a base hit for Peterson and an RBI. And then the error on Venegas allows a second run to score. And Peterson's at third base. Here's Maltos Garcia. A single and a 2-run triple. The pitch. Fastball, a strike. No balls and 1 strike. This all came with 2 down in the inning. And that's down and away. Count levels. Add 1 ball and 1 strike to Arnoldo Maltos Garcia. Down and away with a changeup. 2-1. Yeah, the first 2 hitters were retired in the inning. And all of a sudden, the B-Diggers got a rally going. They've been helped out by some shoddy defense. The pitch, swag and a miss on a changeup. It's 2-2. The Trojans have committed 2 critical errors in the frame. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4 in, a man at third. Out of the windup is Garcia. And the pitch. Swung on line. That's a base hit into right center field. Alec Peterson will score on the RBI single from baby Maltos Garcia's third RBI of the game. The B-Diggers have played at 5 in the third and now lead 8-7. Well, now they got to take care of business defensively, but they're not done offensively. Here's Ryan Hirschfeld. The stretch by Garcia. Throw back to first, back and diving is baby. Hirschfeld is 1 for 2, singled and grounded out. The stretch and the offering. Up and in. Going to second is Maltos Garcia to throw, and he's in there standing. Easy steal for Maltos Garcia. 1 ball and no strikes on Ryan Hirschfeld, who officially is 1 for 2 in the game. And you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at KSIR Sports or pitch by pitch at KSIRsports.com. A stretch and the 1-0. That ball hit him in the lower back. So Hirschfeld reaches. 7 consecutive B-Diggers have reached after the first 2 were retired here in the third. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock lined out to center and then grounded to second earlier in this inning. Rosenbrock is the 10th hitter of the inning. Stretch and pitch. Swung on and driven a mile foul down the left field side. No balls and one strike to the junior shortstop. The Bee Diggers have an 8-7 lead. They played at 5 in the inning. Matos Garcia at second. Ryan Hirschfeld at first. A stretch by the right-hander Garcia. And the 0-1. And he takes it in the dirt, blocked by Rick. Count levels at 1-1. One ball and one strike. And the offering. Change up is low again. 2-1. Well, thank goodness this is only 7 innings max, because we played almost an hour. We're only in the third. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is driven inside the third baseline, down the line towards the corner. Matos Garcia scores. Ryan Hirschfeld to third. Rosenbrock into second with a run-scoring double. The Bee Diggers have played at 6 in the inning and now lead Thornton 9-7 in the third. On that hard-hit grounder. That'll bring up Nico Guzman. Wind and pitch. Changeup is away. 1 ball and no strikes. Nico has struck out twice. He struck out on those changeups, the offering. And that is low and away. 2-0 to Nico. Guzman could get a pitch to hit unless he's taking. 2 balls, no strikes, the offering. Swung on, grounded to short. Sandoval has got it. He fields, he throws to first in time, and Guzman is retired for the final out of the top of the third inning. But the Bee Diggers score 6 runs in the inning. Brush does it on 6 hits. That is 2 errors and 2 left. Let's head to the bottom of the third in a slugfest. Brush 9, Thornton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the third. The Bee Diggers lead 9-7, but let's see if they wake up defensively. They've committed 3 errors in the game. It'll be 9-1-2 as Laura will lead off for Thornton. And this is where part of the problem started in the second. 2 consecutive walks by Hirschfeld, the stretch, and the offering in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Laura walked the 9-1 hitters to load the bases, or check that Hirschfeld did, and that one well inside. 2-0. Now Hirschfeld out of the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. On a pitch up and in on a changeup, it's 2-1. Hirschfeld ready. 2-1. Not even close, up and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hirschfeld ready, the offering. Swung on and fouled back. 3-2. To the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third inning. Laura back in the box. 3-2 pitch. Oh boy, bounced it in there. Not even close. Third walk issued by Hirschfeld, second to the 9th place hitter in the lineup. And here's Hector Venegas. He popped out and he walked. As Venegas steps in officially at 0-for-1. The stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-1 down the middle of the knees. Hirschfeld has thrown 64 pitches. Strike to ball ratio is actually not that bad. 39 strikes, 25 balls. No balls and 1 strike. And the offering squaring to bunt, and he lays it down right in front of the plate. Fielded by Hirschfeld. Second baseman covering. Throws to first is in time. The sacrifice goes 1-4 with Maltos Garcia covering, and there's one down. One down, and the batter's now Juan Sandoval. He's 2 for 2, and both base hits went right up the middle. Driven in a couple of runs. Stretched by Hirschfeld, and the offering. Swing and a miss, threw it right by him. Up at belt level, it's 0-1. Brush 9, Thornton 7 in the bottom of the third inning in Thornton. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on, grounded left side, cut off by, nope, the shortstop, Rosenbrock has it, throws to first low, and it cannot be dug out by Hirschfeld, skips by him, and runner around third, the throw towards the plate, and that's going to be offline. And scoring on the play is Laura. It's now 9-8. Let's go! We'll call that an infield single, but an error on Rosenbrock on the throw, allowing the runner to score from third. And the Beediggers have committed their fourth error of the game. There's Joey Belich. Reached on an error and struck out. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. No balls and one strike. Oh, 0-1 here with one on, one out, and one in. In the bottom of the third inning, the Beedigger lead is down to 1. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. To Belich, no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the Beediggers are maybe playing their worst game of the year defensively. And we're not even through the third inning. 0-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, but first base occupied. Strikeout number 5 for B.J. Hirschfeld as Belich goes down on strikes. There's 2 down. Two down for the number 4 hitter, Devin Chacon. He's been dangerous. A single and a double, driving in 2 with a double to pitch. The breaking ball's a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. With 2 down and 1 on, the pitch swung on and fouled at the plate. Count moves to 0-2 on Devin Chacon, who is 2 for 2. Oh, one thing's for sure, a 9-8 lead is going to be anything far from safe. And the Beediggers scored all of those runs with 2 down and nobody on in the third. They played at 6. No balls and 2 strikes to Chacon. Runner takes his lead. That's Sandoval. And the pitch. Swing! And a miss on a ball well above the letters. And the side is retired in inning number 3. 1 run on 1 hit to Beediger error and a man left. 3 complete. Brush 9. Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Over the Trojans. Thornton has given Brush everything they can handle. This was a 2-16 team before this game. Beediggers at 11-6, but right now it's a 1-run contest in the 4th. B.J. Hirschfeld is 2 for 2. And the pitch. Fastball, a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Regardless of the outcome, the Beediggers have got to play a lot better on Monday going into the playoffs. This is very poor defensively in the first 3 innings. Swung on and lifted to left field. Chacon to his right. Now ranges back. Still going back. And makes the catch. And there's 1 down. As Hirschfeld is retired. And that's exactly what Garcia wants. Elevated a little bit ahead of the changeup. And he gets those fly balls. Here's Mikey Gutierrez. He's walked and doubled. He's 1 for 1 in the game. Line by Garcia, the pitch. Up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Thornton had a 7-3 lead at one point. And the offering swung on, grounded into left field for a base hit. Gutierrez now at 2 for 2. And the Bee Diggers as a team now have 12 hits in the game. To 8 for Thornton, but only have a 1-run advantage because of all the miscues on defense. Here's Zane foul. Hit into a fielder's choice, singled, driving in a run. Another run would score on a Thornton error on that same play. With 1 on and 1 out in the 4th. Garcia looks in the stretch. And the offering. And that's down and away with a changeup. 1 ball, no strikes. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery offers cookies, muffins, and sweetbreads made fresh daily. Pair with your favorite coffee, latte, or smoothie flavors and you're set. Open 6 days a week, 921 Edison Street in Brush. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery. Pitches a strike. The runner going to second. The throw is going to be short hop there. And it's a steal for Mikey Gutierrez. Count should be 1-1. With Gutierrez sitting at second base. That's what it is. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. And a 1-run Brush lead in the 4th. Garcia gets the sign from Rick. And the pitch to Zane foul. Swung on, tapped foul up the third base side towards the Thornton dugout. 1-2. Bee Diggers with 3 runs in the second, 6 in the third. Thornton has scored in every inning. 1, 6, and 1 from 1 through 3. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. Rick will pick it up. He'll throw to first wide of the target. And that'll be a pass ball, allowing foul to reach. Still only 1 out. It does go down as a strikeout on the drop third strike. So first and third for Grayson Simmons, an RBI single and a walk. Trying to extend the lead for the Bee Diggers. With only 1 out. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat on the changeup. Out in front, it's 0-1. At third is Gutierrez, foul at first. Maybe waits a little bit. He's got a huge hole on the left side. The shortstop Sandoval cheating towards the bag. In fact, both infielders are towards the bag. Got holes on the left and the right side. The offering outside with a changeup. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers with a 1-run lead, but looking for more with 1 out and 2 on. Those runners at the corners in the 4th. Rick puts down the sign. And Garcia delivers, runner going. That's taken for a strike. The throw to second is going to be in there, but I think he got in there. He did. Good throw right there, but foul was safe. Stolen base. Places runners at second and third. 1-2 now to Simmons. With 2 men in scoring position. Garcia looks back. And the pitch. Swung on and popped foul and off to the left. Well out of play. It stays at 1-2. Yeah, this has surprisingly turned into a very competitive game. Brush won handily a year ago. They figured it's going to be the same story today, but they've had to struggle just to get to this lead. And the offering outside. By the way, Gutierrez did score, I should mention, 10-8. On that play where foul was safe. And the offering in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. On Grayson Simmons. A stretch by Garcia. And the offering outside, and he walks. That was on a 3-2. Walked on the 3-2 pitch, so Simmons reaches. Here's Alec Peterson. 1 for 3 is lined out, popped out, and singled in a run. So here's Petey. Diggers looking to build on the lead even more. And the pitch. Swung on, drilled into left field for a base hit. Fowl got a good jump. He's rounding third. Fowl being sent to the plate, and Fowl is going to score on the RBI single from Peterson. The Diggers have two across in the frame. It's now 11-8 in the fourth inning. Advancing to second was Simmons. There's baby Maltos Garcia. He's got 3 RBIs in the game, a single, 2-run triple, and an RBI single. The stretch by Garcia and the pitch. And the breaking ball's right there for a strike. 0-1. On baby. Again, the stretch and the offering. Fouled straight back. Count is at 0-2 on the sophomore second baseman. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. With 1 out. And the Diggers up by 3. They were up 3-1 early, then trailed 7-3, now up 11-8. And the pitch outside. One with a fastball. That moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garcia gets the sign. And the pitch. Called strike 3. Right there on the outside corner at the knees. And there's 2 down. Baby thought it was a ball, but that got a piece of the corner. And here's Ryan Hirschfeld, who singled, grounded out, and was hit by a pitch. Officially at 1 for 2. Even though Baby was retired, still 3 out of 4 in the game, having a heck of a game. Stretch and pitch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Garcia at the belt. And the offering. Swung on, driven into the right center field gap. That's a base hit. Rounding third is Simmons, headed for the plate, and the throw's going to be offline. To third base is Peterson. An RBI single for Ryan Hirschfeld. The Diggers now lead 12-8 in the fourth inning and have scored 3 in the frame. Well, this is more like it for Brush. Kyle Rosenbrock is 1 for 3. Had an RBI double in the last inning. As Brush now has their biggest lead of the game at 12-8. The question is, why were the Diggers in this position to begin with? And I think we know the answer. The defense and the pitching let them down a little bit, but let's see if they can do their own on once they take the field. The offering upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. To Kyle Rosenbrock. At third is Peterson. At first is Hirschfeld. And the pitch. Swung on, popped up extremely high into foul territory on the third base side. Sandoval is under it, makes the catch. And that does it for the Diggers in the fourth inning. However, Brush scores 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Brush 12, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, how about a clean inning here for the Diggers? They could use that. They have not been good on defense today. And Ryan Hirschfeld's been up and down with his control. The Diggers do lead 12-8 over the Thornton Trojans. In the bottom half of the fourth inning, Hirschfeld does have 6 strikeouts in the game. He's also walked 3. So here we go to begin the bottom of the fourth. David Sandoval has struck out and singled. He's 1 for 2. Against this right-hander Hirschfeld, who's thrown 73 pitches thus far, nearly a 2-to-1 strike-to-ball ratio. And the offering, swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. No balls and one strike. And Gutierrez playing right along the line. The pitch, up and away. Levels the count at 1-1. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night, when they do. Every second counts. Colorado Plains Medical Center is a level 3 trauma center, which can handle any type of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center, where expertise matters. The fastball up and in is 2-1 now. Pitch swung on and popped up and out of play. Behind the backstop, it's 2-2. To David Sandoval. The stretch and the offering. Did not wave at that pitch in the dirt. It's 3-2. Three balls and two strikes. To the opening hitter of the bottom of the fourth inning. And the pitch. Swing! And foul tipped into the glove of Peterson. Strikeout number 7 for B.J. Hirschfeld as David Sandoval goes down swinging. There's J.C. Garcia, struck out and singled, so he's 1 for 2. Well, let's string together some outs here. The stretch. And the pitch upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson lays down the sign. And the 1-0. That's right down the middle with a fastball. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The base is empty. Brush 12. Thornton 8 in the bottom of the fourth inning. The pitch. Down and in. Took something off it. It's 2-1. The Bee Diggers have 6 more hits than Thornton, 4 more runs. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Rosenbrock, to his left, has got it. Throws to first on the run. There's 2 down. That's the way to play defense for the Bee Diggers. And here's Ray Gonzalez, who has struck out and reached on an error, which was a routine grounder, hit the Maltos Garcia, then he threw it away. And at that point, after Gonzalez's at bat, it was a 7-3 lead. Since then, the Bee Diggers have scored 9 of the game's last 10 runs. And here's the offering. Swing and a miss and a fastball tailing in. It's 0-1. And the pitch right there. Outer half at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to Ray Gonzalez. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Gonzalez strikes out. A 1-2-3 inning for B.J. Hirschfeld, who has 8 strikeouts in the game. Let's head to the 5th. In Thornton, Brush 12, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the 5th inning. The Bee Diggers lead the Thornton Trojans by a score of 12-8. Nico Guzman, B.J. Hirschfeld, and Mikey Gutierrez. Nico was 0 for 3, but had by far his best at bat in the last inning when he grounded out to short. Sat back on a changeup and got a good piece of it. Struck out twice prior to that. So he's 0 for 3 against the right-hander J.C. Garcia, who has thrown 101 pitches in the game. And the offering. Tailing outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The Bee Diggers with a 4-run advantage here in the visiting half of the 5th inning in Thornton. Wine in the 1-0. Low on the changeup, 2 balls and no strikes. RC asking for a new baseball. This game goes 7. I doubt he'll be in there because all the pitches he's thrown were only in the 5th, unless the Bee Diggers can muster a huge rally here and end it before the 7th. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch outside with a fastball. 3-0 to Nico Guzman. And the offering. Low with a changeup, and he walks to lead off the 5th inning. That'll bring up B.J. Hirschfeld, who singled twice. And he's also popped out. Let's see if they send Guzman. The B-Diggers have had lots of success stealing bases today. We'll have a visit to the mound as Garcia's up to 105 pitches. And that might be it for J.C. Garcia. Yep. We'll have a pitching change. Let's take a 2-minute break. Back in 2 minutes with the score. Brush 12, Thornton 8 in the 5th inning on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. B.J. Hirschfeld grounds it down the third baseline. It's fair. The throw to second is going to be in time. No throw to first. Hector Venegas is the new pitcher as Garcia replaces him at second. Hirschfeld now at 2 for 4 on the ground ball to the third baseman, David Sandoval. So one down. Here's Mikey Gutierrez, who's 2 for 2. He's walked, he's doubled, and he's singled. Brush 12, Thornton 8 in the top of the 5th inning with 1 out and 1 on. The stretch and the offering. Runner going, swung on and foul back. Venegas showing some of the same stuff we saw from Garcia. Fastball, changeup. No balls and 1 strike. B-Diggers with 3 runs in the second, 6 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Thornton with 1 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 in the third. Throw back to first, back in standing is Peterson. The courtesy runner there for Hirschfeld. We're on the top of the 5th inning. The pitch. Ball nearly hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike. B-Diggers still have to produce some runs to pick up their 12th victory of the year. And the runner goes, and that's upstairs. And the slide by Peterson, and he's going to be in there as the ball gets away momentarily. Backed up over there by the shortstop, Juan Sandoval. That's a bevy of stolen base. I believe that's either 4 or 5 for Brush in this game. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The stretch by Venegas. And the pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow right center field. Second baseman Garcia cannot make the catch, just over his glove. Peterson to third. And Gutierrez is now 3 for 3 in the game on that Texas leaguer. That'll bring up Zane Fowl. Hit into a fielder's choice. He singled and struck out. So Fowl in the game. Is sitting at 1 for 3. Runners take their leads. The stretch by Venegas. Step off, no throw. Gutierrez back diving into first. The B-Diggers now have 15 hits in the game. To 8 for the Trojans, the stretch. And the step off again. Now the throw to first, and back in is Mikey Gutierrez. Line score reads like this: 12 runs, 15 hits, 4 errors, 7 left on base for Brush, 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 5 left on base for Thornton. And the pitch. And that ball hit Zane Fowl somewhere around the left arm. So the bases are loaded. One with a breaking ball there. And here's Grayson Simmons, who's singled and walked twice. 1 for 1 officially. Well, let's see, the B-Diggers are going to turn over this lineup big time. They'll get to Peterson, but perhaps to Hirschfeld and Rosenbrock, you can put together a huge frame. Looking to build on a 4-run advantage. With the bases loaded, Venegas out of the stretch. And the pitch. Changeup is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. At third is Peterson. Gutierrez at second, Fowl at first. Rick gets a sign from the dugout, lays it down. And the 1-0. Swung on and driven into deep left field, going way back is Chacon, and it's going to sail way over his head. Around third is Gutierrez. He scores the second of the 3 runs, as Fowl will also score on the bases clearing double by Grayson Simmons. The G-Man has driven in 4, and the Beat Diggers now lead 15-8 in the 5th inning. And that ball was tattooed the other way. That'll bring up Alec Peterson, who's 2 for 4. He singled in each of his last 2 at-bats. The stretch, the pitch. Breaking ball is up and in. Count at 1 ball and no strikes to Alec Peterson. And the offering. Fastball, a strike at the knees on the inside corner. Levels the count at 1-1. Beat Diggers are now up by 7 in the game. In the dirt, and it gets away from Rick. Simmons will take off for third on the wild pitch. The 2 balls and 1 strike on Alec Peterson. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is driven into deep left field. Chacon is way back, and you can kiss it off the bottom of the fence. Simmons will score. It's an RBI double for Alec Peterson. And the Beat Diggers now lead 16-8. As Simmons crossed home plate. That'll bring up baby Matos Garcia. Yeah, I might have said that it was a bases clearing triple, but a double there for Simmons earlier. And we'll have a new pitcher. We'll take a 2-minute break with the score. Brush 16, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Third pitcher of the inning, Angelo Maris now on the hill for Thornton, another right-hander. The Beat Diggers have had a big inning, another one. 4 runs across, leading 16-8. And baby Matos Garcia singled, tripled, singled, and struck out. He's 3 for 4. And he's driven in 3. With Alec Peterson at second. The stretch. And the right-hander delivers. A little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. We do have a courtesy runner out at second base for Peterson. Beat Diggers have scored 13 of the last 14 runs in the game. The breaking ball's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Top of the 5th inning, the Beat Diggers have put together 16 hits in the game. A stretch by Matis. And the offering. Swung on, grounded to third, and right off the glove of Sandoval down the left field line, heading into foul territory. Runner around third will score. Matos Garcia into second. And the Beat Diggers now lead 17-8. That'll be a straight-up error. Ball hit hard, but right at Sandoval. Very makeable play for the third baseman, so no RBI for Baby. But nonetheless, the Beat Diggers take advantage. And here's Ryan Hirschfeld. The pitch. Breaking ball's up and in. And that breaking ball's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beat Diggers now up 17-8 in the game. The right-hander Matis delivers. Curveball is grounded foul up the third base side. Count is sitting at 1-2 on Ryan Hirschfeld. With Montos Garcia at second. Still only one out in this inning. The stretch by Mares and the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Sandoval to his left has got it. Runner holds, throw to first, and Hirschfeld is out. And now going to third is Montos to throw, and he's going to be in there. Oh, no, they say he got him. They're going to say he was tagged out. I certainly didn't see it from there. But David Sandoval applied the tag. It'll be a double play. And the inning is over. The B-Diggers do score 5 runs in the inning. They benefit from an error. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th. Brush 17, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush 17, Thornton 8. As we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning in Thornton. Not the game we expected here. The margin, yes, but not the way it's unfolded. As these teams have combined for 7 errors, B-Diggers do have 17 of the game's 25 hits. Here's Kyler Rick, 8-9-1 against B.J. Hirschfeld. 56 strikes, 30 balls through 86 pitches and 4 innings. And the offering. Swung on and popped up into right field. Zane Fow comes in. He's under it, makes the one-handed grab. And there's one down. One down for Lara. The 9th place hitters walked twice. B-Diggers still end this game in 6 innings. If they can score a run and hold Thornton off the board, the stretch with the bases empty, the pitch. Right there for a strike on the outer half of the knees. It's 0-1. To the right-handed hitting Diego Lara. And the offering. Upstairs with a changeup. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hirschfeld delivers. Fastball at the knees, down the middle. It's strike 2. 1-2 on Lara. The stretch and the offering. That is a called strike 3. Changeup on the inside corner. Strikeout number 9 for B.J. Hirschfeld as Lara goes down. 2 down for Hector Venegas, who was popped out, walked, and had a beautiful sacrifice bunt. So officially he's 0 for 1. Stretched by Hirschfeld. And the offering. Swung on and grounded over the mound. The second baseman, Montos Garcia, could not play it. Took a wild hop for a base hit into center field. And almost bounced sideways. So Venegas has his first hit of the game. That'll set up Juan Sandoval. Or check that. We'll have a... Juan Sandoval is actually 3 for 3. Here's Angelo Mares. From the right side, the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Hirschfeld looks like he's getting into a rhythm here. The last couple of innings. And the offering, runner going, swing and a miss. Peterson's throw to second. Nobody's covering. It went right behind the bag into center field now. I guess time is called. Let's see what happened there. And the runner, the hitter's called out. Interference against the hitter. That'll do it in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Let's go to the 6th inning. The score, Brush 17, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, we'll head to the 6th inning. Unusual interference play there against Thornton. B-Diggers, as a result, have a 17-8 lead. And Kyle Rosenbrock will step to the plate. Rosenbrock in the game is 1 for 4 with a double. And the B-Diggers could end this game in this inning. They score a run and hold Thornton off the scoreboard in the bottom of the 6th. And that would be it. Angelo Mares, the right-hander. Kicks and fires. Down and away. Just to clarify, when Peterson was throwing to second, Mares, the hitter, interfered with the throw, and that's why he was called out. And the offering. All the way to the screen with a fastball, 2 balls and no strikes. B-Diggers lead by 9. Got to lead by 10 or more after at least 5 innings, if not 6, in order to win in abbreviated fashion. 2 balls and no strikes. Wind and pitch, and the breaking ball nearly hit him down and in. 3-0. And B.J. Hirschfeld's done a nice job since then. 3 balls, no strikes, and the pitch in the dirt on an off-speed pitch, and Rosenbrock walks. That'll bring up Nico Guzman. Guzman officially 0 for 3, struck out twice, grounded out, and walked. The look-in by Mattis. And the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Belt high. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch. Throw back to first. Boy, solid move over there by Mattis, but back in is Rosenbrock. Looking in is Mattis. The stretch. Guzman awaits the 0-1 runner going. It's taken for a ball to throw to second. Rosenbrock in there sliding. He's got the stolen base. And he's that run out there that will give the Beatdiggers a 10-run advantage. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, nobody out. 17-8 Brush in the top of the 6th inning in Thornton. This is the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Trojans. The offering. The breaking ball bounces all the way to the screen. Rosenbrock to third on the wild pitch. And, yeah, they were appealing, but no swing there by Guzman. Ball 2, strike 1. Looking in is Mattis. The stretch, the infield's playing in, and the offering. Swung on and driven. If it's fair, it's trouble, and that ball is fair inside the left field line. Rosenbrock will score. Guzman around first, headed for second, and he's going to hold up right there with the RBI double. And the Beatdiggers now lead 18-8 in the 6th inning. And that ball was absolutely roped by Nico Guzman. Here's B.J. Hirschfeld. And again, thoughts of ending this game in 6 innings. It's now what the Beatdiggers have in their mind. Now with a 10-run advantage, but it could be more by the end of this inning. The stretch by Mattis. The pitch, and the breaking ball is inside. 1 ball and no strikes to B.J. Hirschfeld. And the offering in the dirt, blocked by Rick. Hirschfeld singled twice and popped out and grounded into a fielder's choice. Officially is 2 for 4. And the Beatdiggers have 18 hits today. The offering, a little bit up and away, 3-0. On deck is Mikey Gutierrez. The stretch and the pitch in the dirt, and Hirschfeld walks on 4 pitches. And here's the hot hitting Mikey Gutierrez, who's walked, doubled, and singled twice. 3 for 3 in the game. He's been on base 4 times. Jaron Peterson's the courtesy runner at first. And Rick will talk to his pitcher, Angelo Mattis. With Brush up by 10 here in the 6th inning. This looked really bad for the Beatdiggers. It was 7-3 Thornton. Beatdiggers had 2 down and nobody on in the 3rd. And all of a sudden plated 6 runs, all with 2 down. It was 9-7, and they haven't looked back. It was 9-8 at one point. Brush has scored the last 9 runs. Gutierrez awaits the pitch. Up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Mikey Gutierrez. The stretch and the offering. Inside again. 2-0. At second is Guzman. Peterson at first. Mattis comes home. That's down and in on a changeup. 3 balls and no strikes. Was Zane Fowl waiting to hit next? Actually, Oscar Soto is going to bat there. 3-0. And the pitch. And that breaking ball's up and in, and the bases are loaded. And a tough inning for Matas so far with 3 walks. And he gave up that double to Guzman. Here's Oscar Soto. Soto did not start today, but going to get a shot right now. With Guzman at third, Peterson at second, Gutierrez at first, and the B-Diggers with nobody out in the top of the 6th inning, leading 18-8. AC Ice proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado, up and away. You can find AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. That's AC Ice, 1 ball and no strikes. Wine and pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, took something off it. Count is leveled at 1-1. Matas has thrown 25 pitches, only 8 strikes so far. Out of the windup with the bases loaded. And the offering, up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't think the B-Diggers have scored over 19 runs in a game this season. In fact, twice they scored 19. They're on the verge of doing now. 2-1 pitch in the dirt. 3-1. And Soto's going to wait for some right down the middle. Matas is going to have to give in at this point. And the 3-1 pitch, up and away, and he walks. With the bases loaded, Peterson scores. And Brush now leads 19-8. That'll bring up Grayson Simmons, who's driven in 4 today. Yeah, I'd like to see the ball put in play, but they got to throw strikes. And right now we got a right-hander just trying to get through the inning. A tough spot for Matas. So here's the G-man at the plate. Another righty against lefty matchup. And the pitch. Up and away. Yeah, this might be the last hitter if he can't get Simmons out. Especially if he walks him. Wine in the 1-0. Curveball is low. Peterson at third, Gutierrez at second, Soto at first. 2 balls and no strikes. Wine and pitch. Breaking ball down and in, 3-0. Simmons will be taking all the way. 3-0. That's well outside. Another bases loaded walk as Peterson scores. The B-Diggers now lead 20-8. Still nobody out here in the top half of the 6th inning. Here's Alec Peterson. With the bases reloaded for Brush. Wind and the pitch. Upstairs with a fastball. Peterson is 3 for 5 in the game. Just had a big RBI double. Here's the wind and the 1-0 offering. Strike. Fastball belt high. It's 1-1. Gutierrez, Soto, and Simmons, third, second, and first respectively. 1-1. Down and in, almost clipped his D's, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to Alec Peterson. Wine and pitch. Swung on and popped up on the right side. The first baseman, Belich, along the line, makes the catch, and there's 1 down. Arnoldo Matos Garcia. Infield fly was called anyway. Altos Garcia 3 for 5. Single, a triple, a single. Struck out and reached on an air. And the pitch swung on and driven foul down the right field side. It's 0-1. And the Bee Diggers have their season high in runs today with 20. No balls and 1 strike. 2 baby. Runners take their leads. Mott is winding up with the bases loaded. And the offering. Foul straight back. Well, now he's found a little bit of a rhythm there, throwing some strikes. 0-2. 20 runs on 18 hits for the Bee Diggers. 8 runs on 9 hits for Thornton. Bee Diggers have made 4 errors. Thornton with 3. One in the 0-2. Swung on and grounded to short. Sound the ball to his right. Has to go right underneath his glove into shallow left field. It will be an RBI. Gutierrez scores, but it will be an error on the ground ball, and the Bee Diggers now lead 21-8. And here's Ryan Hirschfeld. The pitch, down and in. Hirschfeld at 2 for 4 in the game. So brush up by 13 runs here in Thornton. And the offering. Strike. On the inner half, the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. To Ryan Hirschfeld. Mades gets the sign. And the pitch. Down and away. On the off-speed pitch, and the count is at 2-1. Bee Diggers have scored 3 in the inning, have 1 out, and the bases are loaded. The wind and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball's inside. 3-1. To Ryan Hirschfeld. Anything close, he might be swinging here. 3-1 pitch. Fastball's a strike on the outside corner. 3-2 to Hirschfeld with Kyle Rosenbrock on deck. Soto at third. Man at second at first as well. The pitch. Swung on, driven a mile foul down the left side. Simmons and Maltos Garcia are the trail runners. Remains at 3-2 to Ryan Hirschfeld. Brush has scored the last 12 runs of the game. It was 9-8 at one point. There's the wind and the pitch. And the breaking ball hit him in the helmet. It's now 22-8. It's crossing home plate is Soto. And here's Rosenbrock. Let's see if we have a pitching change here or if Mata's going to stay out there. We'll find out here momentarily as we have a visit to the hill. Yeah, I just want to get out of this inning. It's the final game of the season, so it really doesn't matter. You're not saving anything right now if you're Thornton. But you'd like to get this inning over as quickly as possible. Down by 14 runs with 1 out and Rosenbrock inside the batter's box. So he steps in. At third is Simmons. At second, Maltos Garcia. Ryan Hirschfeld at first. Bee Diggers have 3 RBIs in this inning without swinging the bat. 2 bases loaded walks and a hit by pitch. Now Ryan Hirschfeld will get a courtesy runner. And let's see who emerges from the dugout. That'll be Aaron Williams. Come on, Aaron, let's get over there. Boy, just to wait that much longer for a runner. All right, so he's at first. I don't know why that decision took so long for the Bee Diggers to make. Brush has scored 5 runs in each of the last 2 innings. And here is Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock only 1 for 4, did walk to begin the inning. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced down the left field line. Crossing home plate is Simmons. Rounding third is Matos Garcia. He will score. And to third is Williams. Into second is Rosenbrock with a 2-run double. And Brush now leads 24-8. They have plated 6 runs here in the top of the 6th inning. And now we will have a pitching change, and we'll take a 2-minute break. B-Diggers 24, Trojans 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, the B-Diggers with a 24-8 lead. With 1 out here, Kyler Rick is the new pitcher. B-Diggers runners at second and third and 1 down. They've scored 6 in the frame. And Rick will get his 8 warm-up pitches in as now Garcia's catching. That's what took so long. Nobody else could warm him up. So that's where we're at right now. With a 16-run lead, we'll have a very short postgame. We don't need to overly recap what's happened here. B-Diggers did trail 7-3, but then have dominated the game since then. And it's just a matter of finishing this thing up in 6 innings with a massive advantage for Brush. So Rick will get his warm-up pitches in. Kyle Rosenbrock just delivered a 2-run double. And that just added on to the run total for the B-Diggers here in the 6th. And Nico Guzman will be at the plate with Hirschfeld at third and Rosenbrock at second. And here's Guzman about to step in. Guzman had a 2-run double. Laced one right down the line. Or an RBI double, I should say. He's 1 for 4. So here's the right-hander Rick, the 4th pitcher for Thornton. They're playing the infield in. I don't know why. 16-run game. Swung on. That ball is grounded inside the left field line for a base hit. Williams scores. Rosenbrock around third. He will score. Guzman racing for third. The throw is not going to be made. It's going to be a 2-run triple for Nico Guzman. And the B-Diggers now lead 26-6. 26-8, excuse me. There's B.J. Hurt. Check that. Of Connor Keegan stepping in for Brush. And this has gotten way, way out of hand now. Hitting from the left side. I don't know why the infield is playing in. I don't understand that at all. The pitch swung on and lifted extremely high to right field. It's got some carry to it. Ranging back, still going back, and over the head of Gonzalez. Scoring easily is Guzman. And Keegan is into second with an RBI double. B-Diggers now lead 27-8. They've scored 9 runs here in the 6th inning. And that was just a very long fly ball. Hit by Keegan. And Jose Rodriguez will now hit for Brush. Jose Rodriguez stepping in from the right side. With up, Brush up by a ton now. The stretch. And Rick looks back and delivers. Swing and a miss and a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. B-Diggers expected to win big, but not trailing by 4, and that's down and away. Count is sitting at 1-1 on Jose Rodriguez. Rick, the right-hander, looks in. And the offering swung on. That is drilled into the right center field gap. Nobody will get to that one. Rounding third is Keegan. He will score. Rodriguez into second. He is headed for third, and there will be no throw. It's an RBI triple for Jose Rodriguez. And the Bee Diggers now lead by 20, 28-8. And here's Soto batting for the second time in the inning. The Bee Diggers have played at 10 in the inning. Wow. Now here's Soto. Walked his first time up in this inning. The stretch. And the pitch. The breaking ball's a strike. 1 ball and no strikes on Oscar Soto. Or no balls and 1 strike, excuse me. The stretch and the offering. Swung on. That's drilled into left center field. That is a base hit. Scoring is Rodriguez. Soto around first. He's into second with a double. The Brush Bee Diggers have now plated 11 runs in the inning and lead 29-8. Wow. Here's Grayson Simmons, who's 2 for 2. He's walked 3 times in the game. I tell you, I'm actually rooting for an out sometime soon here. The stretch. And the pitch. Down and in with a curveball. 1 ball and no strikes on Grayson Simmons. G-Man settles back in the box. And the offering. Swung on and foul back. Count levels at 1-1. Bee Diggers in the game now have 23 hits. That's a season high. Rick stretches. And the offering. Swung on and grounded down the first base line and foul. 1-2 on Grayson Simmons. Yeah, the Bee Diggers were actually down in this game by 4 runs and now lead by 21. Stretch and pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rush can record 3 outs and get out of here with their 12th win. Long pause by Rick. Still long pause. Andy 2-2. Just outside, 3-2. To Grayson Simmons. How long will this inning go? Been a marathon right now, the half inning. And the pitch is swung on. Line caught. And the throw back to second. That'll be a double play. Caught by the pitcher with a second baseman covering. It is a double play. And the Bee Diggers are done here in the top half of the 6th inning. Well, let us recap the inning for the Bee Diggers. The Bee Diggers score 11 runs. Check it, 12 runs. Well, that's what I got up here. That's right, 12 runs. That's right, they were up 17. 12 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, nobody left. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Brush, 29, Thornton 8 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Yeah, I lost track a few times how many runs the Bee Diggers scored in that inning, but it was officially 12. We're up 18-8 going into the inning, but it was 17-8. So the Bee Diggers now into the bottom of the 6th inning, leading Thornton 29-8. Just need the 3 outs. And then they can put this game away. Officially in the win column. And B.J. Hirschfeld out there for the bottom of the 6th inning. The stretch. And the pitch to Belich. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. To Joey Belich. The bender's in the dirt. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the offering. And he bounces it in there. Come on, BJ. 2-1. And B-Diggers have had a couple of 10-run innings, I believe, this year. But, well, they had the 14-runner. Swung on, line into left field. That's a base hit. Keep in mind, they need 12 runs to extend the game to a 7th inning. Belich now 1 for 4 to that line drive single. Here comes Devin Chacon, 2 for 3, single, doubled, and struck out against Hirschfeld. Stretch and pitch, up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering, fouled straight back. 1-1. Peterson and Maltos Garcia have 3 RBIs in the game. Simmons has 5, and he waved at that breaking ball. And the count is at 1-2 to Chacon. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 on, nobody out. Hirschfeld's pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and there's 1 down. That's strikeout number 10 for B.J. Hirschfeld. That'll bring up David Sandoval. He is 1 for 3. Step off. Only 2 outs to go here to end this game. The stretch. And the offering. In the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. So there you are with your big RBI men in this game. Simmons, Maltos Garcia, and Peterson swung on and popped up on the right side. The first baseman, Aaron Williams, calls for it, makes the catch. And there's 2 down. Two down at the bottom of the 6th inning for J.C. Garcia. Struck out, singled, and grounded out. 1 for 3 officially. The stretch and the offering. A strike with a fastball at the knees. It's 0-1. Hirschfeld looks in, and the pitch. Curveball right on the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 here to Garcia. And the pitch. Called strike 3 with a fastball down the middle. And the Brush B-Diggers have defeated the Thornton Trojans by a score of 29-8. B-Digger post-game show is brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you could trust to do a good job, and a better job than I just read right there, is the tough part nowadays. But when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you get the building you want when you want it, and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. The B-Diggers win the game 29-8, scoring 12 runs to really break it open in that top of the 6th inning for the B-Diggers. 29 runs on 23 hits, 4 errors, 7 left on base, 8 runs, 10 hits, 4 left on base, or 4 errors, and 7 left on base for Thornton. The winning pitcher, Ryan Hirschfeld, going the distance, allowing those 10 hits, but striking out 11 in the game. And the loss went to J.C. Garcia. Time of the game, 2 hours and 20 minutes. B-Diggers led 3-1, trailed 7-3 going into the 3rd inning, but then tallied 6 runs in that frame, 3 more in the 4th, then 5 in the 5th and 12 in the 6th. Grayson Simmons driving in 3 RBIs apiece for Peterson, as well as baby Maltos Garcia. B-Diggers are back in action coming up on Monday at 4 o'clock from Denver North. The regular season finale right here on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. Follow us pitch by pitch, as always, at KSIR Sports or on Facebook and Twitter at KSIR Sports as well. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Bee Digger Baseball. Excellent job, as always, done by Rose Condas. I'm John Beltran. The final score in 6 innings from Thornton. The Bee Diggers 29, the Thornton Trojans 8, right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.